GM, in this video, I'm going to show you how you can quickly start using WeaveDB into your Next.js application. So just go onto the documentation site of WeaveDB, docs.weavedb.dev, and then select Quick Start from the sidebar and follow the 6 steps provided here on this page. So the first step is to deploy a database using the web console, and the URL for the web console is console.wavedb.dev. So click on this button, deploy WeaveDB, and then connect your MetaMask wallet. After you click this button, deploy DB instance, and in a few seconds, it will create your first database. So this is your contract transaction ID. You will need this one later. And then the second step is to create a collection, still using the web console. So let's go back to the console and then select the database and then select data collections from the sidebar. Then you also need to sign into your wallet. So it will ask you to sign a transaction. So once you have signed in with your MetaMask wallet, you can now create your new collection. Just click the plus icon from this collections column. And then for this demo, we will just name our database collection people and click add. So now we have created our collection into our called people into our database. The next step is to install WeaveDB into our Next.js project. So let's create a new Next.js app. I'm using Yarn, by the way. So Yarn create next app. Let me name this sample app. And then I'll just select no for all the options to make this fast. Okay, so we need this command to install WeaveDB SDK into our Next.js project. So let me open it first in our VS Code, the sample app project. Okay, and then open a terminal here. So we need to add or install WeaveDB SDK into this Next.js project. And then after we install WeaveDB SDK, we need to initialize WeaveDB. And just copy this code and go to our main index page. So let's remove the template provided by Next.js. Okay, and then paste the code that we just copied from the documentation site. So we have imported the SDK, and let's move this to a function inside home. Okay, let's create a new function called start. Let me autocomplete that one. Okay, so now we have a function called start, and right now it initializes WeaveDB. So we need to replace the contract transaction ID with the string value of our database. So this is the one that I was talking about earlier. So let's just copy this and then replace it here as our string value for contract transaction ID. Okay, and then in order to add the data to our database collection, you can try this code to add a new document, and then let's just paste the code just below the initialization of our WeaveDB. And then we could also read from our database using either these commands or these queries. So for now, let's use this one. And then let's just write it to our console log to check if everything is correct. And also this query, let's check if this returned, is it correct, transaction. And then let's just create a button to trigger the start function. Okay, and then to run this in our local environment, just go to the terminal and yarn dev. I think, we also need to replace collection name with the string value name of our collection. So our collection name is people, so let's replace this with the string value correct string value people, and also this one. So it will add this data to our database collection called people, and it will also this query will get uh, data from our database collection called people. Okay, let's check. Let's go to localhost 3000. Okay, and then so we have now here our start button. Let's open up our console log to check if we get the correct uh, query returns. So when I click the start button, it started to initialize the WeaveDB SDK, and now it is asking us to sign the transaction to add this data to our database. And now, as you can see, we have the console log return the transaction. So it says here TX true, success is true, and then the result is uh, the data retrieved from our database collection. So we have one uh, document or one entry from our database. So this is the data that we just added. So you can see here, name equals Bob, and then age equals 20. So that's how easy you can use WeaveDB into your Next.js application.